Hello YouTube, Daddy Leroy here once again. I'm smoking something that is new to me, something I've never smoked before. Just bought it today. It is Paladin Black Cherry from Lane Limited. Just walked into the little uh, discount tobacco place right up the road here, and they had some on the shelf. The first time I've seen it in there. Figured I might give it a try. I say this, you can certainly taste the cherry. Real moist. I don't know. Have to wait and see. It might be a little bitey. Not so far though. I had to smoke it 2 or 3 times before I can really make up my mind. As of right now though, it actually tastes pretty good. I think it smells pretty good. It's hard for me to tell when I'm smoking it. Even trying to smell it from this end, I don't know. But right now though, I'm gonna say it seems like I might like it. Anyhow, what I kind of wanted to talk about today. The other day I was at work, and I noticed I was sitting out in the parking lot at lunchtime having a smoke, and I saw an ant, and this ant was dragging a beetle across the parking lot. Pretty good sized beetle, about 20 times the size of the ant. Another fella sitting there, and he commented on how strong the ant was. I said, yeah, they are strong. They're supposed to be able to lift or drag something. I forget exactly, something like 100 times their own weight. And I got to thinking, and sure enough, little ant is strong. Maybe part of it is The little ant just doesn't realize that something as small as he is shouldn't be able to drag something that big. It made me think of another thing. Back when I was in college, I worked for one of the professors up at Mississippi State, and I worked in the lab. It was an entomology lab, so we did all kinds of stuff with insects. And we were getting ready for a study on kind of the life cycle of something called a cottonwood leaf beetle. Now, to do this, I had to sterilize the entire lab, and then we were going to need these 3 big incubators that we had in storage on the other side of the building. We needed to get them into the lab and set up. So when I got through sterilizing the lab, I went over there and I got to looking at these incubators, and they're awful large. Kind of look like a big giant refrigerator. They're about 7 feet tall and pretty heavy. And I thought about it for a while, and I went and got our little 2-wheel dolly. And I had seen the furniture movers with those dollies that they have with the strap that goes around an appliance or something like that. And we didn't have a dolly like that, but what we did have were some ratchet straps that we used to tie 4-wheelers in the back of the truck when we would do field work. So I went and got a couple of those, and I strapped those one at a time, those incubators, to the dolly, and I would lean it over, and I couldn't hold on to the top of the dolly because the thing was so tall. So I would just lean it on down until I could get a hold to the top of the incubator and roll it on in there. And the tires on that little dolly were squatting. It was a heavy thing. Anyway, I got them all in the lab, and I went upstairs to my boss's office, and I asked him, I said, okay, Doc, I said, which wall do you want these incubators against in the lab down there? And he said, well, wait just a minute, and I'll get Bob, and we'll come down there and help you move them. I said, I've already moved them. They're in the lab. I just need to know where you want them. He got this kind of puzzled look on his face. He said, you move those incubators by yourself? He said, I didn't think any one person could move those things by themselves. I said, yeah, I moved them. He said, I had planned on me and Bob coming down there to help you because no one person ought to be able to move those things by themselves. And I said, well, wish you'd have told me that 2 hours ago because I already did it. Now, the point of this is, you know, I move these things by myself. I guess basically because I didn't have anybody standing there telling me I couldn't do that. And it makes me wonder how often somebody gives up doing something simply because they got somebody there telling them they can't do it. And then it follows on after that that, you know, we've come a long way in the last 100 and say 50 years. Technologically, largely because of the people that didn't pay attention when somebody told them that, well, that's just silly, you can't do that. But I just wonder how much farther along we might be now, technologically, if all the people who did listen to those negative folks had paid attention or hadn't paid attention. Or maybe didn't have somebody standing there tell them that'll never work. Anyway, just something to think about. Well, that's about all I had today. I'm really only good for about one thought a day. So, until next time.